Do you think you can have extraordinary relationships if you don't have boundaries?
No.
So boundaries are a necessary key in order
Boundaries
to
are a critical key to have successful relationships.
Why is that?
Because if there aren't boundaries, you lose trust. You lose trust, you undermine the relationship. Then you have a resentment and an anger experience between two people that is unnecessary. You know, if the key to a relationship is communication, one of the keys to communication is being able to express what you need, what works, what doesn't work. And if I don't express what works for me and what doesn't work for me, and you don't honor that, then our relationship is undermined.
You lose the trust.
And if you don't know what my boundaries are, then you might cross them without me knowing it.
And there might be
And
resentment
without you
there.
knowing it,
Yeah,
and then I could get mad because you didn't read my mind.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Right. Because that happens
It's
a lot
resentful
too.
that why didn't you already understand?
Well, you should have known that.
Yeah, that's the worst, right?
Right?
And I think guys get that in
Guys get that a
relationships
lot,
where
yeah.
it's like the woman says, you know, not all the time, but sometimes this happens where, to be careful with my words here.
Be
where-
careful.
Exactly. You know, where it's like, well, why didn't you just know? It's
Right.
like, how
Why
am I
didn't
supposed
you
to know? You didn't tell me anything.
Well, we all think differently. We all have different personality types. We all have different strengths, weaknesses. And what's easy for some people might not be easy for other people. So I think that one of the ways that we could serve your audience and our audience is by coaching them on how to set healthy boundaries
Awesome.
and how to create relationships at work and avoid unnecessary drama.
Your relationships that work and that thrive, that
And
continue
that
to grow, right?
yeah. Because the idea of a relationship is joy and empowerment. And when I'm with you, I feel special, unique, and I feel like you're contributing to me. It's, you know, if you are in a relationship right now, and those of you listening, evaluate the question. If you're in a relationship right now and thinking of that person causes you anxiety or stress or fear or discomfort, then most likely there's a boundary being crossed.
Right.
And so it's really your job
Interesting.
to take responsibility for the relationships that you want.
So how do we take responsibility?
Well, the first
relationship?
step, so
Yes.
let's go through some steps here.
Yes.
The first step in creating extraordinary personal and business relationships by creating those boundaries is getting clear about your own worth. If my self-worth is dependent on you, then I don't have a relationship.
Dependent on what? What you do for me, or how you treat me, or what you say to me?
Yeah,
or-
how you treat me, that you like me, that you're nice to me, that you're in a good mood, that my relationship, my joy and well-being has everything to do with you. Meaning if I lose you, I have nothing.
Right.
And so if my self-worth is based on whether you like me or not, or whether you're in a relationship with me or not, then there's no relationship.
You're going to be up and down constantly then.
Right, because
Based on
there's going to
someone
be a
else's
hole that nothing's going to fill. And so that's why I say put your oxygen mask on first. That means the most important priority in your relationship is not your significant other. It's not your boss. It's not your children. It's not your brother, your sister, mom, dad. You are the most important relationship. So taking care of you, developing your self-worth, the more value you see in yourself, the easier it will be to set boundaries.
Yeah.
One of the reasons why we don't set boundaries is because we're afraid of losing something. Like if I'm honest with you that
It'll
I
hurt her,
want
yeah.
X, Y, and Z, and that's not negotiable for me, then I'm risking you saying, well, I don't want that. And so in many cases, if I have no self-worth, I'll stay quiet and I'll settle for what anything, is given to me, or settle for a relationship that doesn't serve me. And that's why many of you listening, and I know it because you write to me, are stuck in relationships that are dead end, or you're not happy, or you don't know how to get out of it, because you'd rather be in a miserable situation than alone. But if I have self-worth and self-value, then I'm happy alone.
If someone feels like they don't have self-worth or they don't feel valuable, within themselves, what are some things they could do to develop self-worth? To like build that muscle.
Yes, that's a great question. Some of the things that people could do is take a moment to take inventory on their successes. What are things that you've accomplished that you're proud of? We don't highlight that enough. So make a list of 5 things that you're proud of.
It can be small things too, right?
Yeah, I'm proud that, I graduated high school or college. I'm proud that I completed a task. I'm proud that, I got hired for this job. I'm proud. There's so many things that you could be proud of.
Yeah.
When you highlight the things you're proud of and highlight the things that you've accomplished, that builds your self-worth and your self-value. The more you value you, the higher your self-worth goes up.
Yeah, I think also something for me, when I keep my word consistently.
Well, you just stole the next thing I was going to say.
There you go.
Honoring my word, yes.
Yeah.
Honoring my agreements. That's
Right.
another thing that builds self-worth.
Yeah.
There's nothing that undermines your self-worth. I just said this for 5 days.
Yeah.
Nothing's going to undermine your self-worth more than breaking your agreements.
Yeah, and that could be as simple as I'm going to be on, you have these 5 meetings today, you're 5 minutes early for each one, or you're always on time, and repeating that day after day.
Keeping your agreements to
promises,
yourself,
to
keeping your
others.
agreements to other people, acknowledging when you don't keep your agreement and taking responsibility for it and cleaning it up. That's another thing that builds self-worth, and not just builds self-worth, it builds credibility. People trust you. That's another way of building
Yeah, it builds
self-worth.
credibility, integrity, all those things. Yeah.
Yeah, also creating goals and completing those.
Yeah.
That feels great.
I always like to tell people to do like a 7-day challenge for themselves. Like, if you feel unhealthy, then for 7 days, I want you to move for 30 minutes a day.
Right.
And schedule it in and complete it, and tell me how you feel after 7 days of doing one challenge. Or I'm going to have a smoothie every single day in the morning, as opposed to maple syrup or something. You know what I mean? Like on my pancakes.
I'm going to shift my
one thing
diet.
a day for 7 days,
Right.
and complete that challenge. You make your bed for 7 days in a row. Do
Right.
something small that you did it every single day, and you can say, okay, I built up the momentum.
Correct. Clean your house, clean your room. Another thing you could do is read a book. There's nothing more fulfilling than to know I read this
Complete the whole
book.
thing.
I read the whole book.
Yeah.
It feels good.
Yeah.
So there's many ways. Educate yourself, learn, develop your intellect, exercise.
Absolutely.
Exercising, even if it's swimming or, like you said, moving around or going for a walk. Just commit yourself to a 30-minute walk every day.
Yeah.
Meditation builds self-worth.
Absolutely.
So there's many ways to build your self-worth, but the most important thing I would say about self-worth is highlighting your value, highlighting not only your accomplishments, but also your blessings.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.